Welcome, everyone. Today, we have a very special guest. And although all my guests are very special, this guest in particular is special to this YouTube channel because she is one of the main reasons that I have this YouTube channel in the first place. She introduced me to the world of YouTube. There's no better way than to kick off my YouTube series than with Stephanie Wrona.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here and very excited to be talking about YouTube. So thank you for having me.
I have been wanting to get you on my channel for quite a while, and you're finally here. And I also want other small business owners to know why YouTube is so important and what it can do for their business. So we're going to talk about that. But first, can you tell us why a small business owner should start their own YouTube channel? Like, what are the benefits?
Absolutely. Well, there are many benefits to having a YouTube channel, but I think probably the biggest one is just the connection that it allows you to build with your audience or your clients or your customers. When you create video content, it's creating a deeper connection with the people on the other side of the camera. So it's a great way to build that know, like, and trust that you really need if you're a small business owner.
Yeah, because they actually get to see you, they get to feel your energy. So it's one thing to kind of post a photo or captions or, quotes and things like that. But when they actually get to feel your energy, that's what gets them. And as a matter of fact, you guys, I haven't mentioned this, but Stephanie was actually one of my business coaches. And the way that I discovered her is through her YouTube channel. And I watched a bunch of her videos. She had a call to action, which I talk about all the time on this channel. She had a call to action on one of her videos, and I just decided to book a discovery call. And we ended up working together for over a year. So I've been her client, she's my client, and it's just really worked out. So it's honestly one of the best things that you can do for your business.
That's the perfect example of building that know, like, and trust. You get a much quicker connection with somebody through that video content, like you said, rather than just, a picture post or anything like that. And I'm a big believer in creating content as a business owner in general, because I think you go out there and you share your value and that builds that trust, like I said, with your audience. But video content is just one of the most powerful forms of doing that.
So how is YouTube different from other social media platforms? Because I remember even when I was working with you, I was kind of a little bit more focused on Instagram, but then I switched over to YouTube because of what you told me. So can you share with our audience what you told me about why YouTube is so beneficial?
Absolutely. So I think one of the biggest distinctions between YouTube and some of the other platforms is really understanding that there's social media platforms and then there's search engine platforms, and they operate pretty differently. So when you create content on social media, it doesn't continue to live on for you like content on search engines does. So for example, if you even create a blog post or a YouTube video or something like that, it's getting out there on Google or on these search engine platforms. And really the main difference is that people are out seeking answers and seeking help on these search engines, as opposed to on the social media platforms where they're going to be social. So when you show up with your content and you're able to answer questions or, get found in their searches, then you immediately show up too as a trusted authority or an expert that they can come to for their answers. So it really helps to drive business that way. And again, it comes down to the type of content as well. So I think when, again, you're creating content on a search engine, you're really focused on solving problems. And when you're doing business, that's really how you want to present yourself to your potential customers and clients. So again, you're creating content on social media that doesn't have as long of a shelf life, and it's social content. And it's really hard to bridge that gap between, being social on this platform to, hey, come and do business with me. But when you're on a search engine and you're answering their questions or solving their problems, it's very logical to say, hey, if you want more help with this, then come work with me. So it's just very different type of content as well.
Exactly. So it's kind of like, it's not that interruption marketing, right? Where, like you said,
Absolutely.
on Instagram, people are there to look at pictures and be social.
So it's been called attraction marketing, where you attract your clients to you. So, you know, at the base of business, you solve a problem for a specific type of client. So if you're creating content on these search engines that solves that problem for that specific client, then they come online and they start searching for answers to that problem, and you show up, you've attracted them to you through your content.
Exactly. And then it's not so spammy, right?
Absolutely. It's not spammy because they were actually searching for your solution. So it's a great way to do business.
So when you started your channel in the beginning, you kind of started it with one intention in mind. What surprising things have happened as a result of you having your YouTube channel?
Yeah, I started my channel because I was creating the same types of tutorials and answering the same questions over and over again for some of my business coaching clients. And I thought it would be smarter to create like a consolidated library of answers to all of these things for my clients. So I didn't realize the power of search engines at the time in my business. I was actually really focused on Facebook, and I had a Facebook group and an active Facebook page and things like that in my business. And that's how I was growing my business. And very shortly after I started my YouTube channel, things started to change. My channel started to pick up, and I was getting clients calling me saying, I found you on YouTube. I've watched your videos. I want to work with you. And that was very different from social media, where I had to have like a true discovery call with some potential clients, where they had a lot of questions to ask and concerns before starting to work together. So again, it just shows how powerful that video content can be when you show up and you create really helpful content in video form, that you're immediately building that trust. For me and my business, I was surprised at how quickly I was able to book out my business coaching services because of my YouTube channel. Again, I started it just thinking I was creating really helpful content that I could direct my existing clients to. And it turned out to be one of the best ways to book out my services. And I totally did not expect that.
For sure. And you know what I found really interesting? When I discovered you on YouTube about a year ago, since then, your channel has grown by 6 times.
Yeah. And you asked me what one of the most surprising things about my YouTube channel has been for me. And that's probably one of the biggest things, is that as my channel has grown, it has completely reshaped the path of my business. So now I look at myself more as a full-time content creator rather than a business coach. And my business is headed in a completely new and different direction. And again, if you would have asked me 4 years ago if I would have seen this happening, I would have never guessed that I would become a full-time content creator.
Exactly. And that's what you introduced me to as well, because I started off as a business coach and now I am a full-time content creator. And that's another thing that people just don't realize is what that can do for you. Now, another
Yeah.
thing other than, attracting the clients with YouTube, what are some other benefits that, or a way to make money on the side with YouTube that are
Sure.
not necessarily working with clients?
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, that's one of the biggest changes that I've seen in my business, is the direction I'm headed in now. Because once your channel grows past 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours, you're able to monetize your content and get paid for the advertising that they place on your channel. So when that happened for me, it really opened my eyes to how you can monetize your content online. And an advertising revenue is just one of the ways, but affiliate marketing is another really great way. And there's a lot of different ways to do affiliate marketing, but I really believe in recommending products that you use and that you know and that you love, and getting some kind of compensation just for recommending them. And that's another great way to monetize your content. And then another way is through sponsorships. So you can have products and companies reach out to you and want to create a partnership with you and have you sponsor them in one of your videos. So those are some new ways of generating revenue outside of taking on clients or providing services, that as you create content and your channel grows, these opportunities open up for you as well. So let me ask you, what are some of the surprising things that you found since starting your YouTube channel?
Well, you've been on this journey with me, so you know a little bit about it. But for the audience, I started off the channel to just create content to attract the clients. And at the time, I was usually working with smaller business owners. It was winter 2020, and we talked about who my dream clients would be. So I
Mhm.
made a list of 8 dream clients, and at the time, I was still feeling like I'm not ready to go for these clients, but I was still kind of had them in the back of my mind after I put down the list. So it's kind of like the law of attraction, where you put it down and then you kind of almost forget about it.
Mhm.
So a couple of months ago, one of my dream clients sent an email that they were looking for social media help, and because I have a social media channel,
Mhm.
I kind of reached out to them and let them know what I'm about, and I actually recorded a video explaining to them why I would be the best person for this position. And they reached back out to me and they had a lot of applications, but they said that my YouTube channel really stood out to them. That was a huge selling feature. So I
Yeah.
was able to actually land one of my dream clients that at that time would have never been possible for me. if you guys out there, small business owners, if you want to land that dream client, get good in front of video. And the thing is, you can also repurpose this content. So if you're either blogging or creating content on YouTube, you can take snippets and put it on your Instagram, put it on your Facebook, put it on other social media platforms. So you create for one channel or one platform, and then you just kind of repurpose it to other platforms.
Yeah, that's a great point, because I think if you're going to create content like YouTube videos in your business, there's a lot of, like you said, time and effort that goes into it. And instead of creating separate additional content in your business, like Instagram posts or stories or things like that, you want to repurpose that content that you put a lot of time and effort into. That's really quality content. And it makes a lot more sense to then share that and spread that around. And again, it's almost like a mini funnel in your business if you do it that way, right? You create the main content on your YouTube channel and then break up little parts and pieces of it for social media, but bring people to your content. It really helps to organize and streamline your business when you do that too, because now you have a central place that you want to direct people to. Your YouTube channel is that relationship builder for you in your business. And you have that place to point and direct everybody to.
So for the business owners out there that are watching this video now and they're saying, you know what, I think I want to create a YouTube channel. What are your top 3 tips for them?
My top 3 tips would be, well, number 1 is to just get started. I think getting started is probably the hardest part because there's a lot of fears that can get in the way. There's a lot to learn. So there's a learning curve of just recording videos and dealing with the audio and the uploading to YouTube and the editing. So getting that first video uploaded and onto your channel is the most important. And I would say, don't worry about making a perfect video, just worry about getting it done.
So let me just tell people the story of my first video. So I did my hair, I did my makeup, I, got all done up, I put the lighting on, and I just kind of tried to record, and it just was not working out. So I was at a point where I was frustrated. I kind of combed down my hair, I took off my makeup, and then I thought, let me give it just one more go. So when I took that pressure off myself and I recorded another video where I wasn't as done up and I didn't put as much pressure on myself, it actually worked out better. And the thing is, you can always record a video, and if you don't want to use it, you don't have to use it. You're not live, right?
Yeah.
So just practice recording, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. And I think that's a good, tip for anybody out there is it's going to take a lot more tries and attempts to get one video done than you probably think. So I definitely had the same issue where I recorded probably 100 times and, it took forever to get that first video up. So that's why I say just get that first video done. That is like my tip number 1. And that leads directly into tip number 2 for me too, because I was going to say that don't try to make a perfect video. Actually, perfect videos don't do as well necessarily on the YouTube platform because YouTube is all about, people connecting with other people. So the more real you are and the more approachable you seem, you can actually do a lot better on the platform. So creating perfectly polished and edited video is definitely not the goal that I would say for any new YouTuber. Just be real and be you, because that's actually what works on the platform.
And I'll share a story about that as well, because I have a story about that. So what Stephanie is saying is 100% true, you guys, because I remember there was one video where I almost didn't even want to post it because I thought, oh my gosh, like I just added all these GIFs and it was very cartoony and it was just like a quick little tutorial. And that video that I almost didn't even post is the video that was like the driving force of my YouTube channel. That is the video that actually ended up going viral. And still to this day, it is responsible for 1/3 of my growth in subscribers.
Mm-hmm.
So that video almost didn't get posted.
Yeah.
So definitely release those videos.
Yeah. If it's not a great video, that's probably a really good sign that it's going to do really well.
Right. And what is tip number 3?
Well, tip number 3 actually ties it all together. I think you have to remember who you're making your channel for and always make content for that person. So if you know who your audience is or which clients you serve, then always keep that in mind and make the most helpful and valuable content that you can for that person. And valuable and helpful doesn't mean the most perfectly and polished. It's just, the best information and presented in a really consumable way for them. So breaking things down really easily into steps and things like that are really more important, like we said, than is it perfectly polished and edited.
All right, so those are your 3 tips, guys. Thank you so much, Stephanie, for being with us today. And for the next marketing video, I'm going to leave a link right over here. And until next time, we'll see you guys later. Bye for now.
Thank you.